Right now, millions of folks are walking around with a secret, and they don't even know they have it. It's a major health crisis brewing completely undetected. Now, let's dive into this because the human body is an absolute marvel. It's this incredibly complex machine that's constantly running background diagnostics. And when something is about to go wrong, it doesn't just crash without a word. No, it sends signals. Covert, quiet, but absolutely crucial signals. Today, in this explainer, we're decoding 5 dangerous warning signs your body sends right before diabetes actually hits. These are the distress beacons that flash way before a formal diagnosis, and catching them early, well, it could entirely change the course of your health.
But honestly, here is the shocking truth about how we operate. Most people completely and utterly ignore these critical bodily distress codes. We just brush them off. We blame a busy week at work, we blame getting older, or we even blame the weather. We experience these undeniable physical red flags, yet we categorize them as just minor, everyday annoyances, rather than the urgent medical alerts they actually are.
The source material for today is incredibly stark about this reality. It says, most people ignore these signs, and later it becomes too late. The window to take proactive action is so often missed simply because the signs were dismissed. It's a huge, high-stakes scenario. Your body is sounding the alarm, but if the pilot isn't paying attention to the dashboard, well, the crash becomes pretty inevitable.
So the absolutely crucial point here is for you to look inward. Are you secretly experiencing these hidden signals? I really want you to actively think about your own physical state over the last few weeks or months as we go through this explainer. Don't just listen passively, Use this as a self-audit. We're about to decode the body's secret language, and you need to ask yourself honestly if your system has been trying to pass you these hidden notes.
All right, let's jump right into number 1.
This is where the body's covert drain really begins. Normal thirst after a tough workout? Standard. But constant, extreme thirst that you simply cannot quench, that's completely different. Biologically speaking, your kidneys are being forced to work overtime to filter and absorb excess sugar. And when they just can't keep up, that excess sugar dumps into your urine, dragging fluids from your tissues right along with it. Your body is desperately trying to flush the system. So it's not just regular dehydration, it is a direct signal that there's a high blood sugar issue. Moving right along to number 2. Here we shift from the hydration drain to the energy drain. We all get normal tiredness after a crazy 12-hour shift. But if you're feeling deeply, completely exhausted and wiped out after doing some tiny, everyday activity that really shouldn't tax your system at all, massive red flag. Why? Because your body isn't processing insulin properly, meaning the sugar in your blood literally can't get into your cells to provide energy. Your body is essentially starving for fuel no matter how much you eat or how little you do.
Okay, let's pivot a bit for number 3.
Weak or blurry vision. Now, people love to write this off, right? We think, oh, I just need a new glasses prescription, or we blame staring at our computer screens all day. But our source material is super explicit here. When that visual weakness hits out of nowhere, it is a critical distress signal. High blood sugar can literally pull fluid right out of the lenses of your eyes, completely messing with their ability to focus. So actually, scratch that. It's not necessarily your prescription fading, it's a fluid imbalance caused by glucose wreaking havoc on your delicate sensory organs.
Which brings us down to number 4.
Tingling feet. And we're not talking about your foot falling asleep because you sat weird. It's a very distinct sensation of burning, or the uncomfortable feeling of actual needles physically pricking your extremities. This happens because prolonged high blood sugar damages delicate nerve fibers. The expert consensus on this is crystal clear, guys. If you're sitting there feeling this burning or needle-like pricking in your feet, it is directly linked to a serious blood sugar issue. It's a neurological alarm bell ringing loud and clear.
And finally, we hit number 5.
Slow healing of cuts and wounds. Think about your day-to-day life. You get a paper cut, a minor scrape. Usually, your body handles it seamlessly. But if you start noticing that these everyday little cuts are healing very, very slowly, lingering for way longer than they used to, this is a critical system failure. High blood sugar narrows your blood vessels, slowing down your blood circulation and essentially starving your wounds of the oxygen and nutrients they desperately need to heal. The source is adamant here. If your wounds are dragging out, it demands an immediate checkup. Your body is practically waving a white flag.
Do not ignore your health. The final verdict. Look, I get it. We all have a million things on our plates, and scheduling a doctor's appointment feels like a huge hassle. But you absolutely have to stop ignoring these minor health inconveniences. When your body speaks, you've got to listen. Let's do a rapid recap here so you can see the whole picture all at once. 1. Constant extreme thirst.
2. Sudden fatigue from doing basically nothing. 3. Blurry or weak vision. 4. Tingling, burning, or needle sensations down in your feet. And 5. Wounds and cuts that are just stubbornly slow to heal. When you stack the whole shebang up like this, you realize just how comprehensive the body's warning system really is.
And that leads us to the core solution, the absolute most important takeaway from our source material today. If you feel any of these signs, even just one of them consistently, consulting a medical professional immediately is absolutely necessary. Please don't self-diagnose. Don't sit around waiting to see if it clears up in a month. Go get a professional checkup. Catching these signals early? That's literally the entire point of having a warning system.
So I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on today. Is your body trying to tell you something? Are you truly tuned in to the signals it's broadcasting? Or have you kind of just put it on mute? Take a second today to really assess your physical awareness. Your health is, for sure, your most valuable asset, and proactive action is your absolute best defense. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, stay tuned to your body's signals.